Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's session, I'm going to show you a step-by-step process of how one can determine the end date when given the start date and the duration. The duration can either be in weeks or days, months or years. In this case, I have a simple example where I have different employees with different hiring dates and different durations. I'm supposed to determine the renewal dates when their contracts are supposed to be renewed. So in this first example, in this first worksheet, I have these different dates and I'm supposed to determine renewal dates. I'm going to use two scenarios where in the first scenario, I'm going to determine the renewal dates using the if function. Then in the second scenario, I use the date function. So beginning with the if function, I come here in this first blank cell, I type equal signs followed by if function. Inside the if function, I need to specify the logic test. The logic test is to test whether I have the start date. So I click here in this first cell, I put a comma, then the next argument is the value if true. So if this test is true, I want Excel to display the date plus the number of days. We have the duration in weeks, so I need to convert weeks into days. I put an opening bracket, then I specify the duration, which I need to convert into days by multiplying by 7. I close, I put a comma, then I specify the next argument if this logical test is false. So if false, I want Excel to display nothing, so I put blank double quotes. I close the function and press enter. It displays the date as a serial number. Excel recognizes dates as serial numbers. So here it is displaying a serial number corresponding to the renewal date. It's displaying a serial number simply because the format here, when you come here in the number format box, format is general. But if you want Excel to display the date, you come and change the format by clicking the arrow. Then you choose the format you want. I can choose short date. Here it displays the renewal date after this duration. Similar to get for other laws, I come here to the fill handle, then I drag down to do the autofill. I get the corresponding renewal dates of these hiring dates after these durations. For example, here when you try to check here this law, I have 14th of May 2023 as a hire date. So after the duration of 1 week, I get 21st of May 2023. That is, if you add 7 on 14, you get 21. So it is 21st of May. The next scenario is when using the date function. Let me delete this. I type equal signs with date function. Inside the date function, the first argument is year. So I put the year function. This year function is supposed to extract the year from this date. Here it is saying serial number because Excel recognizes date as serial number. So I click this first date here. I close, then I put a comma. The next argument is month. So I type month. Then again I choose the date. A comma. The last argument is day. I specify the day. But then here, our period is in weeks and we need to get days. So we need to add the number of days on the day argument. So I add a plus sign. Inside the bracket, I specify the duration, which is 3 weeks, multiplied by 7, the number of days per week. I close the function, then I press enter. So here you can see that on the last argument, the day argument, I've used the day function to determine the day. Then on the day, I added the number of days, which are 3 weeks in B2 times 7, the number of days per week. Now, to get for other laws, I can do the autofill. I come here in the first cell, I put a pointer here on the fill handle, then I drag down to get other dates. I get corresponding dates of these hiring dates. In the second example, I'm going to use the math duration. My durations are in math. So again, I type equal signs followed by date function. The first argument is year. Then I extract the year from this date, comma. Next argument is math. I extract the math from this date. But now the duration are in math. So on the math argument, I need to add the number of math, which is our duration. So I add this duration. I put a comma. Last argument is day. I get the day from this date. Then I close the date function. I press enter. Here I get the renewal date after this duration of 10 months. To get for other laws, again I do the autofill. I get corresponding renewal dates. Similarly with years here, I come here under renewal date. I type equal signs followed by date. Now the first argument is year. I extract it from this date. And now since our duration is years, I need to add the duration on the year argument. So I put a plus sign per 3 years. I need to extract the years using the cell referencing. So I click in this cell here to get the duration of years. The next argument is month. I specify the date. Then the last one is day. I specify it here. Then I close the function and press enter. I get the corresponding renewal date. So I can do the autofill to get for other laws. Here you can see that it is simply getting the number of years and adding them on the corresponding years here. If you add 3 on 2022, you get 25. If you add 5 on 2021, you get 2026. Then the last example is a combination of all durations. We have days, month, and years. Similarly, we use the date function. The first argument is year. So we extract our year from this date. Then the duration for years is in this column. So here I need to put a plus sign. Then I come and choose the duration here. I put a comma. Then the next argument is month. I extract the month from the date. Then I add the duration for month, which is in this cell. Put a comma. Last argument is day. And I extract the day from this cell. Then I add the number of days, which are in this cell. I come and close the date function and press enter. I get the renewal date after these durations. To get for other laws, I do the autofill. I put a pointer here on the fill handle. Then I drag down. I get the corresponding renewal dates after all these durations with these hiring dates. Let us stop here for this session. Hope you have found it useful. If you are new to the channel, kindly support by subscribing. For returning subscribers, thank you very much for always coming back to check on the new uploads. Let us meet in the next session.